Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good? It's the Boxing Source checking in. And we got to talk about this little thing here from a podcast that took place a couple of days ago, pretty much live a couple of days ago, what was broadcasted in the previous day that has kind of dominated the boxing airwaves. Okay. Want to go to a clip. Y'all know the clip, or at least most of y'all do, from the former two-time welterweight champion of the world, Showtime Shawn Porter. So let's see if we could run this little clip off the Porterweight podcast. Let's go.
Oh, you guys, you have to.
Here we go.
I thought for a second you said I got scared of boots, and I was like, oh, that's unbelievable.
Me too. I
mean,
was
it's
like,
true,
no,
but
come on. I
you don't
was gonna
say that.
You gotta come back. You know, I don't want you to come back.
Boots is overrated.
Whoa.
No, you don't want us to get carried away. You gotta see something. Boots is overrated. Get the hell out. Sean, you showed your mouth too over there. I think he's the most gifted fighter in boxing, but when he's getting caught clean. Even DeLorean we tagged, he's not getting caught here with the chip. He's getting caught on the button, and that is a problem. But I wonder if he was moving in for the kill when he got hit with that. But he might either he's gonna have a Philly chin that's so good.
I can tell you I'm high. I said it.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked those words came out of your mouth.
I know you are. But listen, Boots is overrated, and this is why I say he's overrated.
Crazy.
Everybody is so hyped up on him, but he hasn't been in the ring with any world champions yet.
Well, they
That's
don't
how
want
it
to fight
goes,
him.
Sean.
Huh?
That's how it goes. They got hyped about you guys before you got.
True.
That's boxing.
But I feel like it's
That's how you build your fighter.
and don't forget that I'm the one that said that, or one of the ones that said this dude is the closest thing we got to Roy Jones. I've said that. I'm on record. I believe that, but at the same time,
overrated.
because every name that you throw out and Boots is smash, Boots is smash.
Right.
Damn, like let the fight happen and say Boots smashed them, or man, that was a great fight. Boots did well, but
All right, so that's pretty much the whole clip there, or snippet from the Porterweight podcast, the latest Porterweight podcast. And you heard, Shawn Porter make the statement. You heard one of his co-hosts there, Anthony Bernal, pretty much go like, whoa, oh my God, yo. But you also, had, Shawn Porter expound on that in that, he pretty much said like, hey, anytime, Boots is brought up with certain fighters or whatever it is, particularly those that are rated above him in the welterweight division, they'll say, oh, Boots will smash him. But he's saying that y'all got to see if that actually happens. Let them get in the ring and let them see if he could prove that. Now, he also said that, hey, Boots is the goods. As of what he's seen, that Boots is the goods. And I pretty much stated, I've seen Boots straight up. I've been in the gym, Bosie's Dungeon, with him, with his father and trainer, Ennis. Been through multiple gyms, talked with multiple fighters and multiple people within the sport. They say that Boots is the goods. But with what Shawn Porter said, he said okay, he's overrated in that particular sense, or maybe he should have made the statement or the term unproven, because at this particular juncture, maybe they'll say Boots hasn't really fought the guys that are established in the welterweight division or whatnot, and that maybe he faces a guy like a Keith Thurman, or like a Errol Spence or your Dennis Ugas, or a Terrence Crawford, that maybe there could be something there. But outside of that, when it comes to the welterweight division, as of right now, there really isn't that much depth in the welterweight division. So Jaron Boots Ennis could be favored against a lot of guys that are there at 147, which includes Virgil Ortiz, which includes Rashidi Ellis, which includes Conor Benn, which a lot of people are talking about, especially over in the UK. But outside of that, if you got those guys like Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford, that, maybe, they might say, okay, it might be a 50-50 depending on what their status is or anything lower than that. But at least those guys have been in the ring with other, top 5 or top 10 fighters in the 147-pound division and say that they are proven. Right now, some people could say that Boots is unproven, even though he's, pretty much stopping guys like Sergey Lipinets, there in Thomas Delorme, and, could have stopped, a couple of other people there, but, kind of like had one thing with that. I think it was like Philo Greco or something like that, where that could have been a stoppage, easy stoppage, but it got stopped due to cuts early. But, outside of that, still got to see what's next for Jaron Boots Ennis. We don't know if it's going to be some big news coming up for him or maybe not, but, we'll follow it. Big shout out to YSM Sports Media out there in Philly. He's a Philly link, at least for me he is. But, he has his content, so y'all be on the lookout for that because he's around there over at Boosie's Dungeon a lot. So if there's like any particular updates as far as like what happens with Jaron Boots Ennis, he'll likely have it, But as of right now, you see with Showtime, Shawn Porter, him saying what he said, and he pretty much expounded on it. And yes, Boots Ennis did kind of respond on Twitter and said, hey, why don't you come out in retirement and face me, man? But, even with that, I don't think that Shawn Porter would kind of like go for that at this particular juncture. I feel like he's good. And, he pretty much knows that. And, last year when I had a conversation with Boosie Ennis, when a potential matchup between Boots Ennis and Shawn Porter was kind of like brought up, that, he didn't think that Shawn Porter would end up facing Jaron Boots Ennis because of business. And, we pretty much like said that straight up. Like you were saying, there's like a good number of guys there in the welterweight division that, aren't willing to, go ahead and fight them. Like I said, high risk, low reward. Right. Now, I've heard a couple of fighters that are in the top 10 that have basically said that it would be a high risk, low reward. Yeah. That, there's not enough, for them to go into that particular fight.
And it's the main top guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You heard what Shawn Porter said?
Yeah.
That's that guy.
He said that right on this podcast. He said,
I know his brother. He said, I don't want to fight that young kid. He's skillful, he can box, he can punch, he does everything. There ain't nothing he do wrong.
But, on that note, we still got more when it comes to the welterweight division. Like I said, Jaron Boots Ennis is probably the hottest fighter there at 147, probably the hottest fighter out in this sport right now. When people are talking about guys like Edgar Berlanga or, a few other people that may be out there. Here's Jaron Boots Ennis that's kind of been the talk of the sport of boxing over the past year and a half. So we'll see how this shapes out here with Boots Ennis and, Shawn Porter there with this Porterway podcast. That's kind of, what these statements and these bold statements that get those type of reactions out there. So that's pretty much like been his hot take for the weekend. It's kind of gotten the buzz, but, like I was saying, when he expounded on it, pretty much like made sense. He just used the wrong word. But even with that, you kind of like said that Boots is overrated, but Virgil Ortiz is underrated. I don't know about all that, but I mean, we'll have to see on that. But as stated within the show, one person said that Virgil Ortiz would lose to Rashidi Ellis. So there's that. But that's all I got. Be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source. We really appreciate it. And on that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.